just 10 minutes prior to the Miami mayor speaking. I count maybe a dozen, 2 dozen people here. You can see them a bit in the background who are ready to see the Miami mayor speak. And it's a reflection really of where he's at in the polls right now. We begin with heartbreak in one community for the 14-month-old little girl who died after she was mistakenly left in a car for 8 hours. Former Vice President Mike Pence has dropped his GOP White House bid. In a surprise announcement in Las Vegas over the weekend, Pence reflected on his time in the executive branch. For the first time in over 25 years, Long Island's congressional delegation is composed entirely of Republicans. One may assume they would all get together, but that could not be further from the truth. Can you help people understand why you fabricated so many issues of your life?
A lot of the things you said are perpetrated by the media.
Just moments ago, 40-year-old Joseph Kess of Patchogue was arraigned inside this district court in central Islip. Elections across Suffolk County take place on November 7th. Many keeping an eye on this county executive election that could turn very competitive as Supervisor Romaine takes on newcomer Democrat David Colon. All these sheep back here, look, if you look at them, I mean, they're all looking straight at me. I mean, I am kneeling right in front of them, but it is a little creepy. I mean, I feel like I'm being watched. COVID hospital admissions are up roughly 20% week over week, roughly 100 people being admitted to the hospital per day across the state. Do those statistics concern you in any way? Talking about the weather, I woke up this morning, it felt like I had a great sleep because the humidity wasn't where it was the other day. It was nice, it was comfortable. How's it looking going ahead? One county I really do want to focus on in particular, and this one's really interesting, is Erie County. Right in the corner of the state. You see this little circle I'm making right now? That's where Erie County is in. Mehmet Oz currently is leading. There is only 2% of the vote in. But Erie County is fascinating because it sided with President Biden in 2020. But in 2016, it did go with former President Trump by just a little bit. This is a county that was affected by deindustrialization in the 1980s. And those voters over time have sided towards the GOP. Again, this is the Rust Belt area. These areas in particular, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and even Wisconsin, really starts to get conservative over time. That county in particular, Erie, could serve as a bellwether, not just for Pennsylvania, but also the Senate as a whole and the balance of power in Washington.
Good to be here, guys.
Vivek Ramaswamy laid out his vision for America in front of hundreds of voters in Rye, New Hampshire, Sunday afternoon.
We are starved for purpose and meaning.
The GOP presidential hopeful, who has been rising in the polls, discussed restoring a national identity, increasing fossil fuel production, and removing agencies such as the Department of Education and the FBI. Vivek told WRHU what his first action as president would be. What would be the first thing you would do if elected president?
Shut down the administrative state, shut down the agencies, rescind the unconstitutional federal regulations. And there are many of them, and I will start on day one.
Voters weighed in on what the political newcomer said.
I thought his ideologies were right on, about capitalism, about bringing change for tomorrow.
He talks about how he would have made different judgments than Donald Trump on certain cases. I think he should go specifically on what judgments he wouldn't have done.
Vivek wants to raise the voting age to 25 unless citizens fulfill a national service requirement. The millionaire entrepreneur believes his civic duty voting policy will not disadvantage Democrats, despite their significant support among young voters.
I would say that it is provides national pride amongst all voters. Young voting rates will skyrocket.
The event was organized by former U.S. Ambassador Scott Brown and his wife Gail. Although he served under the Trump administration, Brown is not ready to make an endorsement in the race.
At the end, I'll make a determination who I'm going to endorse. But I want people who are going to be better, obviously, than the Biden administration.
Vivek will have the chance to sway more voters at next week's Republican presidential debate. For WRHU News, I'm Michael Richardson. Cheers erupted as the new expansion for the Strong National Museum of Play opened in downtown Rochester, marking what many see as a new beginning for the Flower City.
Today is an opportunity for us to make a strong commitment to the revitalization of this region.
The second floor now houses a completely rebuilt video game Hall of Fame, an exhibit dedicated to the popular strategy franchise Age of Empires, an interactive area with dozens of tactile experiences, and even the world's largest playable Donkey Kong arcade game.
We design exhibits so that no matter your age, no matter your interests, you'll just love playing them.
Rochester Mayor Malik Evans sees the strong as an economic driver for years to come.
It's a long-term impact. It's the multiplier effect. It's the restaurants. It's the jobs. It's the tourism. That is an opportunity that is going to continue to snowball because of here.
People from all over the Empire State came out to explore the new exhibits.
It's just absolutely amazing. Just more and more things to do each and every time you come.
You know, it's great for Rochester. It was a big spot to see beforehand. The expansion's just going to keep bringing people in, and that's great.
I was just in there playing a game called Unpacking for the Switch, and I'm literally going to go home and buy it.
The hope is that these new exhibits will increase annual attendance to 1 million. But one thing's for certain, inside that building and even outside, there's a palpable sense of optimism that these new exhibits will bring jobs and tourists to the local community. All people who together share a love of play. Reporting in Rochester, Michael Richardson, WRHU News.